Toxic masculinity.
California Teachers Union president who leads school closure caught dropping daughter off at private school.
Yeah, that's right. Can I just say, by the way, there was more to that other story I forgot to say. The Golden Globe story. The Golden Globes apparently has the lowest ratings, I think, in history or something like that. And it's because of all this woke SJW stuff. Like, people don't want to watch award shows anymore. They don't want to get preached at about how
Chris,
we're racist.
people don't even wanna go to those reward show, because one time I worked on the
you had to work on one?
Emmys.
You were working on the Emmys?
Like an extra. They paid so much money to us, like $800 just to be dressed like one of the guests, drinking champagne and stuff.
Right.
They don't even have people just to come there.
Yeah, they have to pay you to come to be seat fillers. I don't know. I think they always do that, though, because they want a specific kind of person to come in. They want to hire beautiful people to come. You don't think so? All right, let's move on to this other story here. All right, California. So I have a particular thing. I hate teachers unions, right? I think teachers unions are way too powerful, and I don't think that they are beneficial to the country. I think that they keep bad teachers in their jobs, and I don't think they're helpful to students. I think they are a disaster. So this guy is the head of a teachers union in like the San Francisco, Berkeley area, and he apparently
he's apparently a racist. Is it dreadlocks?
Yeah, he's culturally appropriating. But actually, what's interesting? They've actually found dreadlocks on like mummies, like mummified bodies.
Well, I knew that the first people who did the dreads was Egyptians.
I think even before Egyptians, but yeah, Egyptians I think had dreadlocks. Some Egyptians, but also I think on the island of like Minos or something like that.
Interesting.
Is that right? Minos, is that a country? Is that a island in near Greece? But anyway, in the areas around Greece and like Crete and that kind of area, I think that there's evidence of dreadlocks. So white people had dreadlocks, or we have evidence of white people wearing dreadlocks, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. So who's culturally appropriating who? I don't know. But anyway, so this guy, he's been caught dropping his daughter off at private school.
Is the private school, are they also wearing masks and sitting in this tiny plastic cages?
Oh, I think it depends on the private school. Different private schools have different requirements.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just read some of this. Viral video footage shows a California teacher union president who led school closures. He led school closures. So he advocated for public schools to be closed, but then he's dropping his own daughter off at private schools. Let's see here. The video was reportedly filmed by Berkeley area parents who did not give their names out of fear of retaliation. See, this is how messed up our system is, because you've got these teachers unions, like, I don't know, authority figure people. I don't know who they are. Anyway, administrators, and they have so much power that parents are afraid to go up against them publicly. It's crazy. Anyway, Berkeley Federation of Teachers president Matt Meyer said the video violated his child's privacy. Oh, I'm so sorry that it violated your child's privacy and was very inappropriate, adding that there is no public option for kids her age, because I think she's like in preschool or something like that. Which I don't think that's probably true. And also, if you're advocating that kids don't, here's the thing. Yeah, obviously preschool kids, what are they going to learn on Zoom? It's just idiotic. But that's also true for kids that are like kindergarten. It's true for kids in first grade, second grade. I mean, like, the older you get, the easier Zoom is, I think, right? So like college age level, I think taking classes online is actually okay.
College actually, I don't mind get some kind of other education than I had in Russia if I would just like a Zoom,
Because when you become an adult, you're lazy. You can sit on the couch for 4 hours taking a class. When you're
I wanna at the same time I wanna work and I wanna get an education. I don't wanna just to get education, not to work,
right.
because I love working.
It's better for you in terms of time, like it's more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
But kids don't care about efficiency. Kids want to be active and physical and play.
Yeah, they want to interact with other kids.
Yeah.
Like
for
socialize.
kids, it's much harder for adults.
I said that before, that people who advocate for school closure, they don't even have children, or their children already in private schools, like
Right.
our
Right.
governor or
Yeah.
this teacher union
There are a
president.
lot of there's a lot of elite people,
It's a double
people who
standards.
consider themselves
Double
elitist
standards. I don't understand how people can see that.
in their ivory towers. So there's this term ivory tower. You may not know what this means. So the
Ivory
term,
Tower.
yeah,
I know no.
it's sort of like the concept of that Rapunzel who had like the long hair and she was like in her tower. She was like a princess that was
Okay.
locked in the tower. So it's this idea that rich people in the olden days, they would live in these like, white towers. They used to paint castles white. People think that towers were like gray like we see them, but that's actually because all the paint's chipped off and weathered off. Really, old castles used to all be painted like white. And so the idea that their person's living in their ivory tower, it's basically like us. You know how like we never leave the apartment? Well, I don't. I essentially am an elitist living in an ivory tower because I don't get out and I don't, I try to communicate with the people online, but I barely ever leave this place, which is actually terrible and I hate it and I want to go on vacation, but I'm behind on my work. So anyway, so let's go back to the story. There's really not much to it. This guy's just been dropping his kid off at school, and it's just funny. It's just a funny thing, the hypocrisy of the left, because they know what's actually good for their own children. It's like that guy, the trans guy who's, putting COVID patients into nursing homes, but then he takes his own mom out of them, right? It's like rules for thee, not for me, right? That's the constant thing. They're constantly hypocritical. It's terrible. It's terrible. Leftists are horrible. Teachers' unions are horrible. Let's move on to the next story.
I like this comment that Mark wrote. Ivory Tower is how everyone thinks of Trump.
That is how everybody thinks of Trump. But, it's funny because he's, of all the wealthy people, he's the only one that I can actually talk to regular folks. All right, moving on. Next story. Let's do it.
Minneapolis to hire social media influencers to spread city-approved messages during Derek Chauvin trial.
Oh yeah. I love this story. Here's why I love this story. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.